All right, everybody, welcome to, what is it, August 1st. We are officially in the second half of the year. It's not just halftime now. It's like first quarter of second half. It's going to be interesting to hear how Jeremy did last month and what he's planning to, do to win the third quarter. I have decided to commit this entire month to just good old fashioned sales training. I do believe that great leaders can help their loan officers get one extra loan a month. I do believe they could do it in a way that's sustainable, and they could help them get one extra realtor. So I'm going to really focus every Tuesday, 9 o'clock for the month of August, bringing in badass, mortgage professionals that are advisors. And we're going to train on that. Also, while we could train on like 5 different strategies over the next hour, we're gonna dedicate every session to like one strategy. This session is dedicated to winning with rate shoppers and reducing rate shoppers. Like, there are some loan officers, it's the way they deliver advice, the way they have borrower consultation, it's different, it's better. Folks are less likely to go into the grind on them, and there is some science of selling to that. And then there are some loan officers, Jeremy Forcier is one of them, that when he does get rate shopped and he does have the grinder, he wins more than most loan officers. Like, there's a difference between how mortgage professionals navigate that conversation. So just a few opening thoughts, and then Jeremy, I'll bring you in. So first of all, I've created quite a bit of content for this. Like we're calling it the Mortgage Coach 10X strategy. And there's a little bit of a story to that. I've recently read a book called 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan. Jeremy, are you familiar with this book?
I am not, but I am now, and I love Dan Sullivan.
Yeah. Did you read The Gap in the Gain yet?
I have read The Gap in the Gain maybe a dozen times. So it is one of my all-time favorite books.
Well, this is their follow-up book to that, and it's legit. And it was part of the inspiration to call this the Mortgage Coach 10X strategy, because we can help you get one extra loan this month with this playbook, but we're going to do it in a way where you can 10X that, like literally one extra loan every month for a year. And by the way, I'm underestimating it. So there are some resources, guys. There is a playlist. So this playlist is up, and it started with J-Force. You'll notice, Jeremy, some of the calls you and I have done on this before, we broke it down. So it's like 4 minutes and 57 seconds on your rep versus own, 2 minutes and 30 seconds on your 2-1 buy down with future refi. So we've got a playlist to support this. And guys, this playlist is going to grow. We've got a playbook. So we're giving you no excuse. If you're a branch manager, you have all the resources you need to help your loan officers get one extra loan this month, one extra realtor, and do it in a way that 10X's their business over the course of a year. And then also, we've got a microsite. So if you go to mortgagecoach.com/10X, links to all the goods are here. The recording will be here at the top. Next week's training to sign up will be up here at the top. And then, of course, we got the 24-hour a day, 365-day trainer right here. So we've got this content. And then we also have links to all of our live trainings. So we also have Spencer on this call. Spencer, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself to everyone, and then we'll start the training.
Definitely. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here and just fired up to try and provide as many resources, as many playbooks, as many rosters, as many strategies as we can. I'm the training and adoption strategist with the old trust engine here, trying to help just make your life a little bit more logistically sound, a little bit more pragmatic. And we're doing daily live training events as well. Obviously, today we have Dave, your wonderful Tuesday interview with the number one guest here, Mr. J Force in the house. Good to see you there, Jeremy. Hiya! And fired up to bring you guys as much as possible. You can always go check out mortgagecoach.com. I'm going to share my screen for a quick second and just give you my favorite quick, easy resources that we have for you guys every single day. Dave, you already mentioned the on-demand training. So if you go to mortgagecoach.com, we've got our resources here, the daily training events. If you want your LOs, if you're a branch manager, or if you feel like, I just started Mortgage Coach, come check it out. We'll do your beginner session. We'll get you comfortable, confident, show you how to be quick. We also have the Wednesday strategy session, diving a little deeper, kind of like a 201. And then we've got a Thursday Q&A you can sign up for. You can see the registration right here. So if you've got a TCA that you're like, this isn't quite displaying exactly how I want it to, bring it. Bring your questions. If it's something that maybe isn't burning, you're like, I don't quite need support or chat or anything like that, but I need some strategic help. Come bring it. It's a live session. You can at least watch in and see what other LOs are working on too. So all of those there for you. My other favorite quick resource we have, it's kind of like a summary of the YouTube channel. We've got all these tools to put in your tool belt, the all-in-one pre-approval, down payment option, cost of waiting. And guys, these videos aren't, an hour. We all love to talk here. Jeremy, Dave, myself, we can gab all day, but these are 10, 15-minute videos. You can go check the TCA out. I can see Alex Cook's single mom refi. I can pull that up real quick and you can hear Alex walking you through it. You can just go check out that TCA super quickly. So all in the resources tab on mortgagecoach.com. You can go find live training, on-demand training, and then what are actual top producers like Jeremy, like Shayla Gifford, like Amber Kovaric doing today, now in this rate environment, winning with realtors, all that good stuff. So we've got all the resources for you all the time, not to mention in the advice engine, we have a live chat feature. If you need a little help, you can hit the chat bubble in the bottom right-hand corner of the advice engine. You'll get a live rep, and we love to advertise that. My man Robert said that 99.7 of our chat tickets are solved within 90 minutes. There's someone waiting for you during business hours, ready to talk. So bring it. We're ready for you. We want to get you guys fired up while we're still waiting to be able to do rate and terms again sometime eventually, hopefully here, but we'll get you prepared for today's market and for tomorrow as well.
Right on. Nice setup, guys. So tremendous resource. So this is a training. So Jeremy, you and I prepped a little bit yesterday. If I could get from your perspective, describe the problem, the rate shopping problem, because, you deal with it as an originator yourself, but you manage a big region for cross country. How would you describe the problem in this market?
Awesome. Thanks for having me first and foremost. And I apologize if it gets loud at all behind me because I am on vacation. It is early in the morning here in Hawaii. So the problem is this. The problem is that we don't transfer trust fast enough or as often enough as we need to build real relationships in a transaction and offer solid advice. So when there is lack of trust or fear, same thing, they can be interchanged sometimes. People are going to look elsewhere, right? Now, and once again, to give context on this isn't every single client, right? This is, call it 25% of my clients, right, are not going to be my client. Super shoppers, no matter what, commoditized, doesn't matter. That's their mindset. That's how they look at this service, and that's the way it is. But when there's fear, though, outside of that, I feel like that number can go to 50% for a lot of people, right? Where 50% of their clients are like, this is crazy, this is expensive, but they're scared. There's no trust there. There's no good advice happening. So I think that that's a huge move, by the way. I mean, an additional 25% of your pipeline saying, see you later, potentially. So what we need to do better than ever is articulate what is happening in the market, what is the value of your services being a mortgage advisor, and how does that benefit you, AKA the client, the borrower, to make sure that they make a really good decision. And there's multiple ways to do that. It's not just cost. It's not just net worth. Those are both important over time, but a lot of it is who's going to get it done. Who's going to get it done? Because realtors right now are feeling the same pressure, the same fear. My realtors are getting shopped more than ever, meaning they're not going to someone else and saying, hey, will you give me a $10,000 credit and I'll use you on the realtor side? But the client is just like, this person's not getting me into contract because there's not a lot of inventory. And maybe I should use someone else. So keeping all the advice tight and making sure that if you get something in a contract, you're going to perform so that realtor gets paid is extremely important. So those are the two sides I'm seeing right now is heightened fear equals lack of trust, right? No advice equals lack of trust, and no closed transactions, aka open escrows, when they're making offers. So you have to have a great strategy around getting an offer accepted, not just the terms. That also equals lack of trust and fear, which is making consumers look everywhere for what is going to be the shiny object and what's going to be the best thing I can do for myself and my family.
So let's peel the onion one deeper, and then guys, and then we're going to get into specific scripts, specific strategies. But I want to make sure everyone personalizes this for yourself as a loan officer, and for you if you're watching this and you're a manager. This is an actual, recent case study with NFM Lending, and they've got 94 loan officers that use MortgageCoach. And the 94 loan officers, and when it says use MortgageCoach, it means they're delivering strategies to consumers. They're not just delivering, hey, here's your rate, here's your payment. They're delivering strategies. Those 94 loan officers, on average, were 65 basis points more profitable than the 319 loan officers that are delivering fee worksheets. Guys, there is a profit crisis in the mortgage industry that at NFM equals about $2,327 per loan. So guys, I want you as a loan officer to, first of all, if you don't know how much you're costing your company from a price exception standpoint, I want you to know that. And if it's, let's just say you're not in the top 10% in your company, that's your sales score. Like that's your score of just how much value you're giving to consumers. Another part of this case study we did with NFM, the MortgageCoach loan officers, well, the non-MortgageCoach loan officers converted at about 23% credit report to conversion, which, by the way, not bad. Great job. But the MortgageCoach loan officers, on average, converted it at over 26%. Now, you may think, oh, that's not a lot. Guys, when you aggregate that, first of all, for NFM, it's millions of dollars in profits. And in aggregate, it's about an extra 456 loans. So guys, what we're talking about here is if you can really improve your conversion, and let's face it, the biggest enemy of conversion is rate shopping and people going with another lender. Like that's problem number one. Jeremy, do you know your numbers right now? And then let's get into the strategies.
Do I know my numbers? Yes, sir. So a couple things. One is I'm going to go in reverse order of what you just did. So there's a gentleman named Brad who I work with who's awesome. Probably watching this right now. What's up, Brad? So Brad is an awesome LO. I'm doing some coaching with him and whatnot, helping him out. And we're going through lead conversion last week, right? And Brad was like, and he uses MortgageCoach, probably not as much as he should. So Brad would use it every time, like we're talking about here. But his conversion right year to date, and this is a little skewed because I'm going raw lead, raw referral, not just like credit pull to close. So raw lead to close, he's at 11%, right? He's at 11% year to date. Well, when we looked at my raw lead to close, I'm at 27% year to date.
What?
And if we break down if I were to take out all the people that didn't qualify, because that's raw lead, right? Credit pull to close, like disclose to close, is at 72% for me year to date.
Wait.
Those are,
so when you get a credit report to close, you're at what?
So contract to close, like disclose to close. Okay.
Okay.
I'm at 72%. The reason why it's not 100% is A, I have shoppers, of course. B is that I disclose on files for refis that they haven't decided if they want to even do them yet. It's called an assumptive close. They do the app, I do the consult, I say we're disclosing at this, it's not a commitment. So these are just little things, right, that you should all know. But if I were to take out even those, which I haven't done, strip those out, I would guess that I am in mid 80%, right? Like credit to close. Like, so it makes a huge difference using a total cost analysis every single time, every single client, using the video. Now, from a basis point standpoint, this is mind blowing. In my region, sales region, I'm 43 basis points higher personally on revenue brought in, my personal production to my peers, 43 basis points. So huge, epic difference between revenue being brought in of a TPA, mortgage coach, total cost analysis user versus non-users. So it really does make a big difference. That case study you did show is, I think it's, if you dove into it deeper, I bet the numbers are even better.
Yeah, well, my goal right now, because I feel like we are in a, well, not feel, we are in an advice revolution, and loan officers that upgrade themselves as advisors are going to make more money personally. They're going to be more, I mean, dramatically more profitable for the organization. And guys, this is what we need to do in this season. We need to upgrade our skills. And if you do that, first of all, you're gonna gain market share in this market. And when the market does become more favorable, you're gonna absolutely kill it. I mean, we're gonna have, in the words of Brian Hale, stupendously great 5 to 10 years once we hit the bottom. But the next decade is going to be amazing. And the demographics are just evidence of that. So, all right, we finished the first quarter of this training, and hopefully we made the case. Like, we hope we built the problem for you. I hope you will document the problem for yourself. So Jeremy, let's transition into solutions and sales strategies on how you have such incredible conversion, how you reduce rate shopping. And then when you do get into that knife fight, let's do some training on, okay, I'm negotiating. How do we do that? So let's get started, bro.
What do you want to start with the knife fight?
No, well, what do you want to start with? You want to start with the knife fight, or you want to start with the reduced rate shopping?
So one and the same to me. Okay. So let's just, yeah, I do have a place I'd like to start. So everyone watching this, please know, please know, I have no ego about any of this. I lose loans all the time. Okay. Like, literally, we're all going to lose loans. I just don't focus on the L's. Okay. I only focus on the W's, just on the wins. I want to live in that gain all the time, not the gap of what I'm losing. But I do want to pay attention to, what did I lose? Why did I lose it? Okay. It's really, really important. And how can I minimize that? So one big strategy that is working for me right now in real time is, what we're seeing right now is a lot of banks, retail loan officers, online lenders, people just like us, privately held mortgage banks, mortgage brokers, all of us, the industry, really just cutting commissions and comp, right, to try to get a deal, hoping that they are going to keep it. That's not sustainable for any extended period of time. I'm going to give you a great example. I had a client, which I will share the TCA here in 1 second, that I've been working with for a long time. As I explained when we started this, like, trust is so important. Well, this person has made 5 different offers, hasn't gotten to contract once, right? And is just feeling maybe I need to get a better deal because the rates are still high, the price is just going up slowly, incrementally. So, they got a second rate quote when they went to contract last week, right, from a credit union. And the credit union truly was, 140 basis points ish better, right? About 3/8% lower in rate than I was. So what I had to do is come up with a strategy using a total cost analysis to show them that there is a different way, that yes, that other offer is better at face value. So acknowledging it, right, and giving them something else to think about. So it's okay with you, Dave. I want to share my screen.
Yeah, brilliant.
Let's do this. Sorry, there's like screaming kids in Hawaii. What are you going to do? Yeah, what are you going to do? Kids are going to scream in the background. So this is a great example. So individual went into contract. Okay, this first column here was my offer and price on that day. Okay, mine. So 6.95%, charging 1.475, I believe, in discount point. And their payments were $49.40. Cash out of pocket was $58. Right, the second column that I acknowledged, right, was the quote that they gave me, that they got. 6.625%. So basically 3/8% less, right, than my quote, with essentially the same cost. It was like 1.5 points or something like that. Basically the same. Okay. So from there, you can see that their payment was $48.07 and 73 cents, with almost identical same cash to close as my offer. Now at face value, this is a better offer, right? It just is, because they're going to save $132 a month compared to mine. and the credit union said they could perform and all that good stuff. So what I did here is I said, hey, and this is where you can, as a lender, be creative when you do use any type of exception, when you have to, PE, price exception. Okay, so we do have the ability to do a 1.0 buy down. So what I showed them in this third column here was, listen, we all agree, he agrees, by the way, that rates are going to go down. He's in the finance industry. He 100% thinks that they will go down and he will refinance in the next 18 months without a question. So what I showed him here was that, hey, you know what, rather than take my offer number one, or even the second offer number two, offer number three, right, would be a 1.0 buy down. So for the first year, it doesn't cost you anything different, right? Us as the lender, because we know rates are going to go down, or offer this credit. And for the first year, you can pay 5.95%, right? And that's going to be a 45.38.29 monthly payment. So it's actually, quite less than the 48.07 you wanted to go with. And knowing that we're going to refinance, you're going to have the same cash out of pocket as you would with the other two options. And that's ultimately a better deal for you. So that's how I won and kept this particular client with me. He said, hey, that's a great idea. That's a great strategy. I would love to do that. Now, in the fourth column, just for overkill's sake, I did show that when rates do go down, targeting right around 5% interest rate, what the payments are going to be on an automatic free refinance with no underwriting, processing, or appraisal fee charged by our company. So what I did here was multiple things. One, I acknowledged that, yes, the other offer was better than mine. Okay. Number two, though, I did say that not all things are created equal. I know I could perform, right? And the reason we got into contract on this is I told the sellers and the listing agent that, hey, we will close on time in 17 days, or I will pay a $10,000 penalty to your seller, right? So I got into contracts because of that. So we have to perform. The credit union's not going to guarantee that or put it in writing. Now, if that wasn't enough, though, that's why I went to column 3 and did the lower the bar close. It's called lower the bar, right? Hey, let's lower it to make it even better and easier. This is just a better situation for you. We know that rates are going to go down. You can save money right up front monthly with no cash out of pocket. So I gave them multiple things to think about, right? A little bit of fear of, I don't know if they can perform. A little reminder, this is why we got into contract, was a large part because of me and what I guaranteed. And then if that wasn't enough, hey, this is a no-brainer. Let's look at using a 1.0 buy down, and then we'll refinance later. So these are the type of things that you should be thinking about and having conversations with your clients, especially when you're getting rate shocked.
So I want to break down everything that Jeremy did. Could you share your screen one more time? Because I want to make sure you guys notice there was the video wasn't showing because he had stopped it, but there was a video on that. So if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, so just make note. So Jeremy, you can stop sharing, but I want everybody to see part of the magic here is Jeremy gave options. He put his competitive option. So this was, okay, I'm in the knife fight, I'm getting shot. So it's okay, strategy. So he understood what the client wanted. He understood what the competition was delivering. And then he delivered a different move. And then he had it set up that like, hey, rates are going to come down. Client agrees. So it's going to be even better. I could tell you the client was impressed. They got a video. They could tell that Jeremy was educating them. He was working. There was just a lot going on there to win that. And he does that on every single client. So I do want to show another move, Jeremy, and tell me your thoughts on this move. This was an example where it was just straight up, hey, this is my strategy. This was the credit union strategy. And it was a 0.5 point difference. And what this loan officer did is showed, hey, that's $132 a month. But he really broke it down that's $2,000 for a year. And over 2 years, it's, double that. And then again, if you delivered an incredible experience and you dollarize that, so now instead of talking about it's a half in rate, it's $2,000. So first of all, if you've delivered great advice, great experience, they're committed. they're probably not going to leave you for $2,000. And if you do have to negotiate a price exception, and you tell me, Jeremy, would you be better off negotiating dollars, $500, $1,000, or would you be better off negotiating an eighth in rate or a quarter in rate? Because remember, Jeremy, what does an eighth in rate typically cost in this market? If you had to lower the rate, how much does that cost in basis points?
I wish I could answer that. I don't know. Like, it seems like there's no
probably
mark.
50
Everything
basis points.
costs the
Probably
same.
50.
Okay. I don't. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I think on average an eighth is 50 basis points. And by the way, anyone listening to this, I would love to just get a little sanity check because it does vary from market to market. How many basis points do you think an eighth in rate costs you if you have to match it? It's a lot of money.
I think it's 20 or 12. Like, I feel like the margin spread is so thin. Honestly, it's different.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I actually think it's a lot less right now, which is why it's harder, by the way, everyone. That's why it's like
Wow, that's a lot less than I would have thought.
But that's short term. It's just because there's so much compression, right, in the MBS security market. So on a typical market, yes, I agree. Like a quarter in rate is 100 basis points, so 850. I agree. Right now it's like you charge 1 point at 695, or you could charge 1.4 points at 6.5. It's like so random right now that it makes it more challenging. So that's why these tools and using the TCA is even more important right now. But to answer your original question, Dave, I love what she did. Hey, we're talking about $2,000 here. Like, you're gonna take $2,000 and put your trust into someone you don't know. Can they perform? Are they going to have difficult conditions? Is it going to be a pain in the ass for you and the seller? Will it even close? Like, so those are all real conversations. I think that she did a killer job of doing that.
Cool. So what I want to do now, first of all, did we get all the questions answered? Spencer, are there any outstanding questions that didn't get answered in chat?
There are a couple about the specifics of the lender buy down and the temporary buy down.
We'll just ask Jeremy the question so we can get them.
Yeah, we got Luke Leslie I thought the lender couldn't pay for the temporary 1.0 buy down. And a couple
Not
of
true. The only person that can't pay for a temp buy down is literally the borrower. The borrower is the only one that can't pay for a temporary buy down. So here's a cool strategy for you. And what was that person's name, Spence?
It was, let's see, Luke Leslie here.
So Luke, you can even get your realtor to contribute for the buy down. Let's say that the seller doesn't want to, right? Or the lender, you can't, right? You can't as the lender. You can literally go to your realtor partner and go, hey, I can get this person like a better deal by $400 a month if you're willing to credit $4,000 of your $17,000 commission. Is that something you'd be interested in? So anyone can pay for a temporary buy down except for the actual buyer.
Cool. Any other questions, Spencer, before we move forward?
I think that was about it. Don Gotlings asked, I thought the borrower can pay realtor commissions, the agent pays the buy down based on that. Then that was it.
That is true too. You can do that as well.
Okay, cool. So keep questions coming. We're now in the second half and I think we've covered sales strategy. Although if more scripting comes to mind, Jeremy, let's bring it. Now let's do a how-to. And I would love to start with you, Jeremy, and then have Spencer do his how-to. Would you mind showing people how you create like just a typical rate shopper TCA? And could you do it in 5 minutes or less?
Yeah. So typical rate shopper TCA, is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Like you're gonna, you've done it like 2 points, 1 point, 0 points, future refi. Show us how you would create one. And then guys, we will have Spencer come in and kind of speak to what Jeremy did. Now, Jeremy has an enterprise package, so he's got some integrations that everyone doesn't have. Of course, if you're watching this and you work for a company that doesn't have MortgageCoach built into your tech stack, tell your manager, like, hey, we would love to have an enterprise relationship with you. And of course, if you're an individual loan officer, you can go to our website and sign up individually. And also at the very top of the mortgagecoach.com/10x page, we have a sign up button if you want to sign up and you don't have MortgageCoach. So tell us when you're ready, Jeremy.
I am all ready. So I'm going to go ahead and
Okay, I got to
just
start
create,
my stopwatch first.
I'm
Because,
just going to create this manually. Okay.
okay.
To help you guys out that don't have an enterprise. So let's just title it Rate Shopper. I'm going to go 7.8.
Are you going to show your screen, by the way, Brian? You show your screen
Oh,
so we can see
I
your.
thought I was. My bad.
Yeah.
Hold on, restart the
Oh,
clock.
man, I was getting
stopwatch.
ready to hit the start button.
All right.
Okay,
Rate
here we go.
Shopper. Cool.
5 minutes
So
or
I
less.
started.
Start.
There we go. Rate Shopper. Okay. Assumption. So this individual wants to purchase a home. All right. I'm going to skip right down just straight to the products on a Rate Shopper. So this is going to be 30-year fixed 6.95%. Okay. So this person's purchasing a $500,000 home. They're putting down 15%. And the rate is 6.95. 30-year loan, closing costs. My fees are $17.98. I'm going to say
And he's
this
not
costs
using our integrations. Like if he was using the well, he has the closing corp integration, but he's just showing you guys, even if you don't have
I'm showing you
integrations, how
how
fast you can do this.
Yeah, so I can show the integration even like 10 times faster than this, right? Cool. MI is going to be 0.21. And then we're going to add another product. Okay. So then here we're going to go buy down. Buy down. Right. I'm just going to copy from the other product.
And this could have been point options, guys. So it could have been, 2 points, 1 point, half point, but he's going to go with a buy down.
Yep. And I'll do that. I'm doing that next. So this is going to go 1L buy down. That is lender paid. All the other costs stay the same. And then here I'm going to go.
Yeah, we need the Jeopardy music. I like that, Matt.
6.375.
He's, by the way, is at 1 minute, 32 seconds, guys.
Are you serious? That's faster than I even thought. So then
Yeah.
here I'm going to go 6.375, right? So 6.375. Closing cost. This is going to be 3 points.
Ah, you
Okay,
showing 3 point options a lot?
Man, I am showing all kinds of stuff. So yes, I am showing literally, I don't really have 0 point options for the most part. So I am showing, yes, this is what, and I don't call them points, by the way. So I'm done,
What do you
just
call
so
them?
you guys know. I just talk about the cost. This is the total cash out of pocket, cash to close. This one costs a little bit more, as you can see. So if this is what it looks like when it's done, okay? So when I'm explaining this to the borrower now, I'm going to point out the items that I want to
Hey, real quick, Jeremy, if you would put a link to this in chat, because I want people to be able, because guys, this is another part of the magic of conversion and winning with rate shoppers. He's tailoring it. He's giving options. He's putting a video when it makes sense. He's sharing the link so that when he goes through this with the consumer, let me know when you've shared the link, Jeremy, in chat.
You got it. Share.
And boom.
Yes.
So right when you hit that button, everyone, it has copied it. So, and here it comes. Now, when this hits, chat, everyone, I know how many people are on this call. We got hundreds of people on this call. Click on this right now. Click on this link. Jeremy, real quick, if you could go, you can see that one person is viewing it, and we're going to look at that. We're at 6 people viewing it. So again, part of the science of selling is the quality of your communication and your ability to net things out for consumers super fast, super easy. All right, go ahead and walk through this now.
All right, awesome. So it took me less than 2 minutes to make this manual.
Oh,
okay.
By the way, we're still at 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So
it's fast.
And so I didn't even use the integration, which is badass. Tell your companies you need it. I love it. I use it every day. It's incredible. But even if you did it manually, like I just did. So what I'm showing here is 6.95% option, right? There, the payments are $35.08 and 49 cents, and the total cash to close is $92,251. Now, in the second column, I'm showing them that, hey, there is another way that we could look at this through a 1.0 buy down. This would be through negotiating a seller credit or a realtor credit or a lender credit, a combination of that. So we can talk about the specifics of that, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower. But if we do that, it's 5.95% for the first year. And then it just translates back to the first column at 6.95 for the rest of the life of the loan. Your payments there would be $32.29 with the same cash out of pocket. Now, in the third column, I showed you a 6.375% option. Now, this rate is obviously lower. The payments are $33.46 per month, but you can see that it costs more. So the cash out of pocket is $98,626. So, Mr. Rate Shopper, there's not a right or wrong way to do this. It's just it depends on how much cash out of pocket you really want to bring to the table and what's the benefit. So I'd love to talk to you about the specific strategies and details of this. Let me know a good time to connect and I'll talk to you soon.
So Jeremy, go and add a fourth column, and I want everybody to follow. Let's go to the top, see how many people have clicked on the link real quick. Go to the top of this TCA.
Here,
The
hold
very
on.
top.
I'm going to stop share and I'm going to share again because I'm not navigating this very well on my computer. Here we go. All right. Now you want me to
go to the very
change
top
this
of this
column?
TCA. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and add the fourth. I want to see how many people are looking at the TCA real quick. So 53 of you. Okay, 53 of you got the, now the 53 who are logged in, watch this. He's going to add a fourth column with the future refi rate. And what, it'll take seconds. And
So
he'll
all you
really
do is go add another product, copy. Doesn't matter which one you copy it from. And then I'm just going to click refi here. I'm going to change this to 4.99%. I'm going to eliminate all the closing costs. And the reason why I'm eliminating all the closing costs is because I have no idea what it will cost, but I know in a regular market, it will go down as well as the principal is going to be lower. So you could always, add it to the loan amount or be just what they borrowed originally. This is a very conservative way to do it when you're showing it to clients. So I'm going to title this future refi.
And then I also want you, before you show the screen, go to the analysis screen.
I knew it.
And I want to remind you guys that you could update that short-term and long-term.
Yep.
So in this market, you might want to be making that 60 months, 24 months, and maybe making the long-term.
36.
Well, but they're going to refinance within, 12 to 24 months. And then maybe it's 5 years. So, and again, tailor this for the consumer and look at this, guys. Like, look at the service that Jeremy's giving a consumer to understand their options. And anyone who clicked on the link, you're seeing this change right before your eyes. Like no email going back and forth. It's no, oh, let me send you another PDF. It's like Jeremy's netting this out for the consumer in real time.
So there you go. It's that easy, that quick.
So, Spencer, any coaching notes you have for folks and anything you want to do to teach and train on this?
I really love the way Jeremy went about it. We have a couple other videos I'm probably going to share about just that. We have one with Socia Vila from a little while ago of doing that live with a borrower even and showing them as you're building it and being able to ask them a couple of questions like, what would it mean to you if I could lower your payment this much? What would it mean to you if this was guaranteed, we could make sure this was closing in 60 days. What would that mean to you? So a couple of scripting points I wanted to point out there too. With that, it was pretty darn similar to what I had built out. Jeremy did it probably faster than I can for sure. But we want to make sure that we are customizing the strategy for the borrower in the end. What is the long-term impact? Right now, Dave, you mentioned, hey, it might be 24 months to 5 years, but make sure you're really breaking down the end goal here, that future refi. What is that going to lead to? That is giving service. That is being someone who is looking to make that borrower a homeowner, not a loan owner. That's something we want to really share of that importance. Hey, I'm looking for your next transaction too. And that goes back to your point, Jeremy, of saying, is that maybe that other lender beats you by $1,500 over 2 years? Maybe it's $88 a month. Is that other lender looking to your next 3 to 5 loans as well? We don't ask that question necessarily. If you want to, sure you can, but you can say, hey, I'm looking at your next 3 transactions here. I'm showing what this is going to look like 10 years from now. That's the TCA difference. That's being the data-driven mortgage advisor as opposed to the loan officer. So that's how we want to really go ahead and win long-term. Is that $80 a month? Is that $1,000 worth going with someone who you don't have that rapport with, you don't know is going to get it closed for you, you don't know is going to make your, the seller happy, everything of it. So all awesome there. I mean, guys, Jeremy did that without an integration in a minute and a half. The one thing
Yeah,
I want to say too, at the base level, the TCA, for some that might be newer on this call, and this is what we get to in some of the intro calls, guys, anytime you find yourself looking to educate a borrower, this TCA can replace that first initial conversation. You can educate through demonstration right there, doing it live with the borrower. Jeremy could have had the borrower, watching him build that out, educating them and showing that impact, pardon me. That's going to be that long-term difference there. So what I had was just, a half a point, and 2 points on a TCI I made too, but it's exact same impact ultimately.
So couple things. One, I want to make sure you guys realize, like, this is where you add the video. There's a quick button to add a video. Jeremy was using the live feature. So he was actually clicked on this button. It was delivering the live feature. If, let's say I spent, like Jeremy did that in 3 minutes, but let's say it took you 10 minutes, you could go to a TCA and just click copy and create a new one. And it took me 3 seconds. And now I could go back and update the interest rates on these. And I could make this a strategy template. So this could be my, rate shopper strategy template. And I click strategy template. And now when I go at the very beginning, I've got a strategy template. I've got my rate shopper strategy template ready to go. So I guess I want to, one, I think we're going into the fourth quarter where we'll make sure we do Q&A to see if Jeremy has any advanced strategies. But I feel like, Jeremy, what are your thoughts? If you had all your loan officers watching from your region, do you think we've taught them how to deliver a rate shopper TCA and we've given them the sales strategy and the how-to, or is there anything missing at this point, Jeremy?
No, I think it's great. I think the only thing that could potentially be missing would be that if just know your customer. So nothing is missing as far as what you went over, how to execute it, what you present. I'll just give you an example. So last week I was referred a person, right, from a great realtor, but they're already in contract, right? They were getting a bunch of quotes from different places. They got a quote from, Chase Bank. And when they told me, I just asked, I said, oh, well, what did you get quoted? It's like 6.875 with no points on a 4-unit conforming loan, by the way, so 20% down. If you just look in the MBS market, like that's like 300 basis points under what the real window margin is. I think they missed the fact that, it's 4 units basically. And so by getting those questions asked, right. And I brought it up right away and he said, nope, they told me that's what it is. And I'm like, okay. He hasn't filled out a loan application yet with them. Credit report hasn't been pulled. All these different things. Now, 2 days later, he came back to me and I looked at FHA. I go, I think they're quoting you FHA. Here's what an FHA option would look like. It's 6.75, right, with no points. And he was like, oh, that sounds great. 2 days later, comes back, hey, we're going to make a decision. I found another place that will do it for 6.5 at no points, right? That's just not my client. Hasn't filled out an app still. And I literally would just be nice to those people. Okay. So they were referred to you by someone. And here's what I told them. I said, listen, if that's real, which I don't think it is, or someone made a colossal mistake, I would take it. I said, that's what is going to be best for you and your family. And why don't you just use me as a backup? I'll do the loan application, submit it. We'll get you fully approved. And that way, if they can't deliver, I'll be right there waiting. He was like, that is awesome. You're great. I so appreciate that. I don't want to waste your time. You're not wasting my time. I think that if you can get that, right, you should absolutely get it because it was incredible, right? It was 3/8 lower in rate and 2 points less than what I would have to charge. Like it made sense. Now, what's great is that the realtor, right, is the one who came back to me and was like, dude, thank you so much, man. My client told me what you said to him and that you were so kind and that you're encouraging him to like explore this other option and that you're going to do this for free. So it's not always about closing that deal. It's the next deal, the relationships that you create by using these tools and how you talk with rate shoppers.
Love it. So Jeremy, before I bring Spencer back on, a lot of loan officers don't intuitively understand the value of advice. Like if all your career, or even like, let's just say most of the time you serve a customer, you deliver a fee worksheet, we do, we've got hundreds of loan officers watching this. I guarantee we have thousands of loan officers that watch this video, and this is what they've delivered. You know, like, hey, here's your rate, here's your payment, here's your cash to close. So they, you know, it's like, until you've actually done a bunch of total cost analysis, do you really even understand the value of mortgage advice? You know, like you have to do this, you know, 20 times before you realize, oh my God, like this is nothing. Can you think of any families that would just really create that, call it the advice epiphany? Can you think of anything that's come up lately?
Yeah, big time, man. So my favorite is I think sometimes we're insecure as salespeople and loan officers, and when we get like a really qualified client, we have a self-limiting belief already that, oh, this one's going to be hard, I'm going to get shopped, I got to go in low, and you haven't even like shown them anything yet. Okay, like it's the total opposite in my opinion. So last week had a great consult with the family, you know, high earners, excellent assets, could get a loan anywhere from anyone, right? I created this, my normal total cost analysis with a bunch of different rate options because we don't know, you know, ultimately when they're going to close. Happy to share it here with you real quick. And the reason why I want to share this particular instance that comes to mind is that this person, like I said, is a very highly compensated earner at a company that we all know the name of. And they came back and said, hey, that was the best presentation that we've ever seen. We so appreciate you taking the time to create that, to go above and beyond and explain that interest rates are all over the place, which is why I showed them here 6.875, 6.5, 6.125, and explained to them that, you know, we're in a volatile rate environment, but I just want to show you that regardless of where your rate lands when you get in contract, of how it affects the monthly payment, right? And they were so appreciative of it. So go above and beyond. This is a great example right here, Spencer and Dave, of just someone who's not in contract yet, who's pre-approved, where I'm showing multiple rate options, like a big range, because they're not in contract yet. That changes the conversation around what's your rate, Mr. Mortgage Professional, to, first of all, it's their rate and it's the market's rate. And we don't know where that's going to go, but we can show them how it will impact their monthly payments and how they should be looking at their mortgage.
Love that, brother. So guys, every Tuesday, 9:00 for this entire month, we're doing the Mortgage Coach 10X strategy. And I also have a lot of, you know, very large lenders that we're doing custom versions of this. So if you are an enterprise partner, you know, we're kind of booked for this month, so we'd have to get you on the list. But if you are an enterprise partner and you want to have us take your company through a 10X strategy, great. We'd love to do it. You know, I'm leading by example for this entire month. Just want to remind you, there is a playbook. There is a YouTube playlist. And then every Tuesday at 9:00, we're going to be doing live interviews with top performing loan officers. Next week, we're gonna focus on cost of waiting. And Jeremy, I'd love to have you answer this question. Part of the speed to need playbook is, you know, like, here's all the different kind of strategies that are happening in the market right now. But I've been told from a number of folks, these are the three. Like, if there was three that I wanted to make sure my loan officers know how to do: rate shopper, rent versus own, cost of waiting. First of all, you can say something different, but do you think if there's like a core three that we were training your region on, would these be the core three, or would there be something else?
That's a great question. For me, it would be rate shoppers. Rent versus own and cost of waiting are interchangeable for me, but I like those. But I would probably go rate shoppers. I would go pre-approval options. And then I would go cost of waiting. And the only reason I say that is everyone's market's different. Okay. Everyone's market's different. Like, sometimes, like, purchasing where I live, oftentimes, like, the rent versus own can be challenging. Okay. For individuals, because of a rental that they've been in for 10 years that has only gone up $100 a month, right? Versus prices going up. So know your market. I think that you should know all of those for sure, but I really like the pre-approval options the best personally out of anything that is
Well,
on
by the
there,
way, what is a
because
pre-approval option, TCA, just so I know that?
Yeah,
for
so
you?
pre-approval option TCA would be like what I just shared, right? Like here's a
Okay.
purchase price point, and here is like three different, it's a 1% range of interest rate options, all at the same cost, because we don't know where the market's going to go. Like that is one example of a pre-approval option. Another example of a pre-approval option would be condo with HOA versus single family residence. I do that all the time in my market, right? And like what that looks like. So changing the dialogue around like what is really important for them to know. Those are pre-approval options. FHA
Down
versus
payment
conventional
options?
pre-approval.
Would down payment
Yeah,
options be
down payment, anything that
PMI
changes, yes.
options? PMI
Those are
options?
all those all fit into the pre-approval option category.
Okay, cool. So remember, guys, we're running out of time. We got 8 minutes left. I am gonna have a closing question for you, Jeremy. But Spencer, anything that you want to share on your screen, or anything that you feel in order for this to be a kind of a comprehensive training that needs to be shared before we run out of time, Spencer?
I want to talk about the way that we can, especially with rate shoppers, briefly, a couple phrases that I really want you guys to hone in on to really be able to steer that narrative, steer that ship we've been working on. There's an unbelievably powerful book called Exactly What to Say, the magic words for influence and impact. You can check it out. I'll drop a link for it. Highly recommend. Not a super expensive book, not a super long book, but definitely recommend. So we've tried to adapt that into how do I position a couple phrases into the mortgage realm, into these rate shopper realms of some phrases. I'm not sure if it's for you, but for instance, I'm not sure if this strategy is of interest to you, but we have down payment options. We have buy down options. Another one, when you have a rate shopper that maybe seems a little bit more set, and as you're finding yourself start to flutter away a little in the control of the narrative, how open-minded would you be to looking at a TCA, to looking at our loan comparison tools? Because people don't want to be closed-minded. They want to be open-minded. When you ask them, do you want to be open-minded? They're probably going to say yes. Another great one for a rate shopper, what do you know about us? Or what do you know about the way we do things differently? Getting into the fact that you have alternative strategies. Another question, how would you feel if, to understand the impact to a borrower, how would you feel if I could get you into a 5.9 rate right now? How would you feel if you could pay your home off 5 years sooner with the strategy I have for you? Or just imagine if I could help you pay your home off faster. Just imagine if you could use your equity to pay off liabilities. Tons and tons and tons of simple swaps there, just to kind of steer back into that narrative, into that control. And then again, please come check out our daily training events, the rest of them. Intro to Mortgage Coach, Mortgage Coach strategy training on Wednesdays, and Thursday Q&A. You can find them all on that resources tab, getting into how do we present these to borrowers? How do we make that impact? How do we win against other lenders? So I'll drop some links for that in the chat there. I wanted to leave some time for you guys to get anything else. These scripts will be made available, very soon here as we're continuing to publish through them. But yeah, we've got a ton of scripting coming down the pipeline for you.
That was killer, bro. I loved it. Reminder, we also, the things that Spencer showed, the training videos, the signing, all this can also be accessed at this month's mortgagecoach.com/10x. This will also be at the top of Savage Insights. This is my focus all month of August. I want to help you guys 10x your success. So Jeremy, any closing thoughts, anything you want to say from what you saw from Spencer? Any thoughts?
Yeah, dude, Spencer is a ninja. So dude, I mean, I don't know if you saw, I was going closer. I was like, I want all that stuff. So thanks for making it so easy and accessible, Spencer. That's totally badass. I'm going to dive in more on those scripts. I just downloaded both of those books, Exactly What to Say, as well as the 10x easier than 2x just now. So thank you a million times over. So if you guys are all watching this right now, whether it's just recorded and you're watching it or you're live right now, rewatch this. Like I'm going to rewatch this. I learned a lot by listening to Spencer and Dave, and different ways to think about things. I'm going to create some different total cost analysis now based on just the feedback that I heard on how people are engaging around how would you feel. God, I love that, by the way. How would you feel if I need to start doing a better job of that? Closing thoughts for me would be, don't be afraid to show people some ridiculous options that you think they would never do. Okay. Don't be afraid to show people some ridiculous options that you think they would never do. A great example is someone wanting to make an offer on a very expensive home. Okay, selling 2 homes. They need to sell 2 homes to actually do it. And I showed them basically that, you know, their offer isn't going to get accepted contingent upon selling these 2 homes, unfortunately. But I still showed them the option that, hey, if you get it accepted, it's what you're looking at. But then I showed them here's a 100% financing bridge loan option that costs 92 grand, by the way, in fees, right? Like to do this bridge loan, you know, the benefit there is that you 100% are going to get the house right now, right? So, and I said, it doesn't mean I don't want to assume, don't want to think that, you know, you're going to say yes. I just want to let you know that this is an option. If it's that important to you, we can execute it. Ironically, they chose it, right? They said, yep, we're going to go for it. We understand it. We want to move forward. So don't be afraid to show people numbers sometimes that you might think is shocking, because we don't want to project our risk tolerance on their risk tolerance, right? Everyone has different risk tolerances and what they're willing to do. So show them options, show them how they can get it, even as crazy as it sounds. If someone needs a $500,000 gift and they only have 3% of their own money to get the house that they want, show them that, hey, you need a $500,000 down payment, not $30,142. If we can figure out how to get you this $500,000 payment through a gift from a family member, etc., we can make it work. You will be shocked sometimes to how resourceful people are when they want something. So don't just discount it that they don't qualify for what they want. Show them what they can do and let them make the decision if they want to go do that.
Love this. So guys, as we wrap this up, I want to remind folks at savageinsights.com, we will have the sign up for next week. And Shayla Gifford is our guest next Tuesday. So we'll put a link at the top, Shayla Gifford. We're probably going to focus a lot on cost of waiting. Jeremy, if you're available, you want to, you know, you get back to me afterwards if you want to join me with Shayla next week. Okay. So Jeremy's going to join us with Shayla. You know, but make sure you sign up for that. It'll be at the top of Savage Insights. Also, if you have not already signed up for my mobile club, you can text 949-799-0837 and put 10X. Just put 10X to this number, and I will make sure that as we come up with more micro content, like there's going to be multiple videos that came from this that will be in that speed to need playlist. So there'll be a couple videos, and as we release those, I will make sure I text people that are in the mobile club. So guys, I think it's been a great first training. Jeremy, thanks for being my first 10Xer. Also, if you want to, Jeremy, if you want to do a special 10X training at cross country, let Spencer and I know, and we would love to do something, you know, for cross country at a corporate level on this whole thing. And again, just a reminder, this is what we're doing for everyone in the Mortgage Coach community for the month of August. So cool.
Awesome. Let's set it up. Set it all up. Thanks for having me, Spencer. I really love you, man. I look forward to getting to know you better. And kill it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All the positivity in the comments too here. This is a great session, guys. I loved it.
Well, give Jeremy hearts. If you got value from today, best way to say thank you to Jeremy is, first of all, follow him on social media and give him a little love with the reactions here at the bottom. Thank you for everybody's time. Have a good one, everybody. Take care. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Spencer.